What's up, Blasianeers and Blasianettes? I just got back from seeing X-Men Apocalypse. The first half of this review will be spoiler-free, and then I will let you know when I get into a little bit of spoilers. So, with that all being said, let me just get right to my immediate thoughts of this movie. Now, I walked into this movie expecting not to enjoy it as much. My expectations were grounded, but I walked away. Like after I saw it, I walked away with a fair amount of enjoyment. I thought it was pretty decent for what it was, and it's a good movie for the X-Men First Class cast, and this was good, for them. But if it were up to me, I would have this movie made specifically for the original cast. Like the ones that have been a part of the movie franchise from the beginning. Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, James Marsden. You get where I'm going with this. I would have had this movie set up for them, for this to be their send-off, for the end with a bang. I mean, Days of Future Past brought them all back together. It gave the franchise a clean slate with them. So I kind of felt cheated that when they just went immediately back to the First Class cast, where it was just basically them the whole time. I mean, it does follow up with Days of Future Past, but still, even so, I felt kind of cheated, with that all being said. But I did enjoy how they introduced, some characters like fresh takes on characters that we've seen before, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, Storm. I thought everybody did their parts really well. I thought it was really, really awesome to see them. And this is the first time Cyclops has played a pivotal role in a while, since the very first X-Men movie. In between the first X-Men movie and X-Men Apocalypse, he's just sort of there in the background, hey, I'm Cyclops, look what I can do. He's just there to be the part of the background. And that's what also another thing I liked about this movie, that each character didn't feel like they were there just to be in the background, while everybody else was fighting. So that was pretty good. I mean, that was a little bit of a step up. But I would have to say that Apocalypse, he was done pretty well. I mean, the performance was done pretty good, but he still had its flaws, but not necessarily because of design of the suit. I mean, they could have. That's something studios could have gotten away with in the '80s and the '90s. That would be the best to their abilities at that time. But since there is technology now, and I'm sure they have, they had the budget to go further with the character, but I guess they decided not to do it, and then they decided to just put the actor in the suit and put and paint his face and makeup and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, I bet if it was Marvel Studios, they would have done with that character what they did with what they've done with Thanos. Like how they did with Josh Brolin. They could have easily have done that, but apparently, for some odd reason, they decided not to do that. I mean, it would have made made the character more believable, especially to the fans of the comics and of the cartoon series. But looking back, looking at how his suit was structured and everything, he didn't look like Ivan Ooze to me anymore. He looked more like Swamp Thing. I mean, take a look. I mean, don't you see what I'm talking about? Doesn't it look kind of the same, the way the suit's structured and the way, Swamp Thing's body is structured? I mean, come on, don't you see it? At least the up, in the head. It's there. But, even Storm, the actress who plays Storm, I thought she was done pretty well. I mean, the actress did a better job playing her than I thought she was going to. But I still would have gone with Kat Graham as Storm. That's just me personally. That would be my fan casting choice. But And I was really impressed with Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. She was an awesome Jean Grey, and I wouldn't mind seeing her reprise that role again. I mean, that was really awesome. And I understand Mystique's role in the movie, since Jennifer Lawrence is a huge actress, and she won an award for crying out loud. I guess that they're obligated to give her a bigger part in the franchise. And it kind of reminds me of back on X-Men: The Last Stand, when Halle Berry was considered a big actress at that time, and she won an award not too long ago, like around that time. So and that's how she played a bigger role in that. But I think Jennifer Lawrence played a bigger role in this movie than Halle Berry did in The Last Stand. So yeah, I would say that and also Apocalypse's voice I did not agree with, where he talked like this. Oh, my children, I chose the strongest. I choose the strongest. We will cleanse the earth. I don't agree with that. But when he's really pissed off, it sounds like he needs an exorcism. He goes from sounding like the Godfather to to a demon from the demon to the demon, blah, 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 to the demon from The Exorcist. But okay, now I'm gonna get into some minor spoilers. So stop the video here if you have not seen the movie. So that's your warning. Now for those of you who have not seen the trailer, the final trailer, Wolverine does make an appearance in the movie, and it's a pretty good role in the movie. Now, 20th Century Fox fucked up by showing us that in the final trailer. I mean, some people were, banking on Hugh Jackman having at least a cameo in this movie, and it's a pretty awesome cameo. But in between, remember how Days of Future Past ended with Mystique, getting Wolverine out of the water instead of Stryker, but she disguised herself as Stryker. But what happened in between, that? How did she go from getting him out of the water to the real Stryker getting a hold of him? I mean, that wasn't explained. I mean, like what happened in between both of those movies, like with Wolverine? Lazy fucking writing. Lazy writing in that department. But I mean, yeah, but and also and how if you've seen my reaction for the final trailer, you would see that my theories on Magneto, like, okay, so he's married, he's basically a family man when we see him for the first time in the movie. That doesn't fit his character. Not at all. Not at all. He's not a family oriented kind of guy. I mean, like, what happened to him, like, where he was like, okay, I'm just gonna bunker down, have a family, and just be a different person? I mean, I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, he would still be a crazy driven mutant who wants to get all of his kind together and basically obliterate the human race for being resentful towards mutants. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. That's who you're dealing with. That's what you get with Magneto. But this kind of opened the door, like, where it's more focused on what's left in his humanity. I guess that was cool to see, I guess, but I have mixed opinions about that. And also, Apocalypse was defeated a little too easily in this movie. It took Xavier and Jean Grey to really, bring him down to the level where he can be defeated. And I don't think it would have been that simple, like in the comics. I don't think. I mean, I don't know like a whole lot about Apocalypse, but I know that he wouldn't be easily that defeated. You know what I'm saying? But and also the trailers gave away the ending of the movie. Like how the doors open and then you see Xavier for the first time, bald and chair and and all dressed up, like how we know he's gonna look. The only thing different is that the door's shut, and then that's the last shot of the movie before the credits start rolling. So the movie gave away the ending, or the trailer gave away the ending. But also Quicksilver's sequence though, when he saved all those kids from being obliterated in the explosion when the school blew up. I loved how he did that. That was way better than what he did in Days of Future Past, and he played a bigger role. We see more of him in this movie. He plays a much bigger role. No cameos, no nothing. He's literally a part of it. He's not just in the background like, hey, look at me, I'm the funny, fast guy. But I loved how he plays a bigger role in this movie, and I think you guys will be satisfied with that if you enjoyed the Days of Future Past sequence with him. Yeah, you're in for a treat. And yeah, everyone played their parts really well. So with that all being said, this gets 3 fair chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3. So I would say if you're a hardcore X-Men fan, I don't think you'll be really satisfied with it. But maybe you might be. But there's the chances of that are very slim. But if you just enjoy the movies in general, and you enjoyed First Class, like you enjoyed the First Class cast, half of the franchise, then I think you will be satisfied with this movie. So it's 50-50. But I still would have done it with the original cast and made the Apocalypse much more of a threatening villain. That's the thing about these villains in these X-Men movies. The villains are not threatening enough where it leaves the door open for him to come back. I mean, Magneto, outside of Magneto, they're just always easily defeated. Even the Phoenix in X-Men The Last Stand, she was very easily defeated too. And the Sentinels, they were easily defeated too, like for them, changing the past and everything like that, But, yeah, it could have filled in some gaps, like what happened with Wolverine, and whatnot, like it felt kind of, weird, in my opinion. But if you can look past all its flaws, then I think you will enjoy it. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of this movie, and do you think it's the worst movie of the franchise? Some people said that. I strongly disagree with that. It had its flaws, but it is not the worst movie of the franchise. And I liked how the movie threw in a little jab at X-Men: The Last Stand by saying, by having Jean Grey saying the third movie is always the worst. I see what you did there, Bryan Singer. I see what you did there. So if you enjoyed this review, thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.